Well, here we are. Pardon the noise, you guys. I didn't get situated before I went live. All right. Let me get this mic on. How about that? All right. Yeah, I'm totally not ready. I don't know why I don't know why I went live already. Let me see. AT, what's up, man? Okay. We're going to let folks file in for a minute. Live now. Live now. Four-Eyed Piper, welcome. Pipes and Bees. Portsmouth. Let's see if I can watch my own live feed. I never know if it's better to just try to keep up with the feed here. Well, yeah, I can scroll back. Tim Cole, welcome. Wildcat Sam. Finishing off a health shake. Guys in Piper, Hot Wings 326. Good grief. Folks are filing in all right. I didn't know, it's 8:15, 8:16 my time. I'm in Central Time. Didn't know how many folks would make the live stream tonight. I've been very non-committal. Mark Taylor, good to see you. Very non-committal on doing like a regular weekly live stream. It's going to be kind of catch as catch can. I think for the next several months probably. We'll see. All right. Well, what am I going to smoke? I really need to be cleaning pipes because I'm going out of town in the morning. NC Piper, welcome. And I've got some pipes I need to be cleaning, but nah, I'll just dirty up another pipe. Clarence, guys in Piper, 418. Where are you at? 4:18 in the morning. All right, so I think I'm going to smoke some two-timer from Daughters in Ryan. Pick this up a little bit back to see if maybe I might want to start carrying some Daughters in Ryan blends. Verdict's still kind of out. I mean, I've had Daughters in Ryan blends personally in the past. Israel, all right. Yeah, that's a good ways from me. What are you doing up at 4 a.m.? But anyway, way too soon for me to indicate whether or not I'm going to carry the Daughters in Ryan, but we'll see. I like to blow in both sides of my charcoal filters to make sure everything's kind of moistened down. Because sometimes you get a little bit of charcoal dust with that first puff if you don't. Sometimes. All right, I'm going to load up my pipe. Y'all let me know if you have any questions or whatnot. I'll try to watch the feed. Christopher Young, welcome. 36 in the house. So, a couple of new things in the background there. Most of y'all won't care, but I like to show it off. Jordan, still no sales in the state of Florida, particularly for tobacco. Now, if you want to order a pipe and accessories or pipes and accessories, send me an email through my contacts page. We'll make that happen. But I cannot sell tobacco at all in the state of Florida. If I did, an $11 tin would cost you $21, so not worth it. Wow, Luke Reisner from Japan. I didn't know you was in Japan. We don't know each other, but I've seen your name here and there. I can do the truffle shuffle, but because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do a thing. So no truffle shuffles this evening. So anyway, I got the new Goonies poster, as somebody already mentioned. Well, the Iron Maiden poster's old. This right here is a re-release of a Don Dokken solo album that he made in 2008. Just got re-released, I think in February. And we all know this guy. I don't know if that's going to come up on the too well on the feed, but if any of you have questions about that, that's Artur Lopez drew that for matches and sent it to him. And I actually found that just on his Facebook page and printed it and put it in a cheap frame. I mean, an expensive frame. But yeah, I thought it'd be nice to have that as a keepsake out here somewhere. So for now, it's in the background. The matches pipe pre-orders, some folks are asking, are going really well, beyond what I expected, surely. Pre-orders don't end until March 1st, and then I'll have a much better idea of how many will be in the run, and I'll definitely make an announcement video when I get that figure. Yeah, Chris, just send me an email through my contact page about that. So it's going to be at least 600. At least 600 in the run. Now, of course, that's really close to the magic number that I want, which is 860. I would love to have a series of 860. We'll see how it goes. So many people have asked me about number. I kind of wanted to keep it under my hat, just in case that number got back to Jean. I really wanted that to be a surprise as to how much donation we'll be able to send her way. I don't think she's going to be watching my videos or anybody else's videos. Pipe smoking was John's thing, you know, it's not really her thing, so. But we're going to be able to send her a nice check to help out. As you guys know, funeral arrangements are very, very expensive these days, and all the things that come around with that. So I'm glad we're able to help out John's wife in this time. So let's get started with some matches, eh? One or two, if I can get the match to behave, because I do have this heater going underneath me. Guy, I miss him too. Man, I've been, you know, all week long when I've been packing orders, I've just been listening to, I've got John's story playlist. I just started at the beginning back in 2011, and I've just been listening. I'm up to 2017 now, going through all the videos he marked as story videos. What a treasure trove. for us to dig back into. And it's just been like hanging out with a buddy all week. There we go. So I'm smoking my Series 3 129 shape, medium to smallish billiard. That I can pretend, because of the shape of the stem, that it's a slightly bent, but it's really straight. So yeah, no agenda whatsoever tonight, nothing to announce. I don't know really why I decided to go live, except for the fact that I had a little bit of time on my hands. Cogs and Sprockets, welcome. I will say, and I just put up on the site, I'm going to be out of town for the next 4 days, so any orders this evening on through Sunday won't ship until Monday or possibly Tuesday. All right. Yeah, this I like this two-timer from Daughters and Ryan. If I remember back in the day, I tried about 7 or 8 different blends from Daughters and Ryan. And this one was my favorite, with maybe Picayune being my second favorite. That was a few years back, maybe back in 2014, 2015. So, I haven't tried the newer blends that they have, the more premium blends, so to speak. Like, what was it, London Dock and a couple others. Aromatics, yes, it is a great burley. Double toasted. Nice nutty, bready flavor. Yeah, that's another one, Wildcat Sam, that I haven't tried, the English Hoopla. I've cracked open, because I need more tins opened in the West Parlor. I've cracked open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tins this week because I had an idea for a new video about kind of everyday type blends that maybe would be a fitting replacement for John's Big 3 tobaccos. What would you guys think are John's Big 3 tobaccos? I'm curious. Let's see if I know my matches trivia. 3 Sales I've tried and did enjoy. Smokes very, very hot if you're not careful with my kind of cadence. Hollywood Briar in the house. Welcome. I'm in my garage, or as I call it, the West Parlor. But it is my garage. AT, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. I haven't seen in any of his videos where he mentioned a top 3 tobaccos or anything. I mean, we all know Haunted Bookshop. We also know he liked Old Joe Krantz. I had a hard time picking a third one, but I think I'm going to go with Big and Burley. I think that's what I would consider the big 3 matches blends. Billy Bud maybe a fourth. Mr. Kopecki, there was a GoFundMe, but it was taken down. If you guys know of any other way to donate to match his family, you can post in the comments. I drank all that shake and now I got the burps. Boca de Boynton, welcome. I don't think Middleton ever made a London Dock, but I'm not a tobacco or pipe historian per se. I know London Dock, I think, well, I don't know. I think it was an old blend that has been resurrected by Daughters in Ryan. Yeah, Pegasus will feature in my video. I've been smoking that. That's one of the 510s I cracked open this week. Hollywood Briar, I do not understand how you don't have 15,000 subs already, honestly. I haven't watched all your videos, but the ones I've seen have been fantastic. I thought you were going to die on that little motor scooter. That made me nervous. I just was waiting for you to fall off. I'm sure it looked more hazardous with the unsteady cam than it feels like in real life, or at least I hope so. So I've been watching other people putting up at the beginning of their videos that it's not for kids, or not intended for anyone under 18. I don't want to do that in every video, but I'm thinking about marking my videos. Like this video I marked as not for ages 18 or under age 18. But I've heard if you do that, the algorithm just buries you and your stuff can't be searched. So only my subscribers would find it if they found it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I do have my channel marked as not intended for children. But that's different from, restricting age to 18 and above. Speaking of protecting the children, I had my first ever inspection from the state today. I had somebody come by my house and ring the doorbell yesterday, completely unannounced. I've got a security camera, you know, and it was motion sensitive, and he rang the doorbell, and I've got an app on my phone. Pacific Coast Piper. I haven't tried many blends with cigar leaf. I can tell you my wife does not like blends with cigar leaf. I like the Sanzapokro and the Grey Ghost, which will also feature in my next video, probably my next video. I used to smoke cigars for, 20 years before I made the switch to pipes. So if you guys have any other cigar leaf blends you might want to throw out there as suggestions for others. But yeah, I was smoking Grey Ghost last night, and I came inside the house, and my wife was like, whatever you were smoking, it stinks. And I was like, yeah, it had cigar leaf in it. Paul, I did see your message about the invoice. Not a problem. Oh yeah, so back to, Key Largo. So Key Largo is a phenomenal blend. I forgot it had cigar leaf in it. It's got a lot of Kia in it, so that kind of outweighs the cigar leaf to me. So yeah, back to the unexpected visit to yesterday. He got in his car because I wasn't home to answer the door, and he called me like immediately. So I knew it was him. It was an unknown number, but I figured it was him sitting in his car. I'm like, who is this guy? Because I could see in the camera he had a clipboard in his hand, so I thought, sales guy, door-to-door sales guy. But I also saw that he had a car in the driveway, and I thought, wow, that's a lazy door-to-door sales guy. But when my phone rang as soon as he got in his car, I was like, okay, I better answer this. And, he said he was from the Department of Alcohol and Tobacco, the division, or the Department of Business and Professional Regulation here in the state of Florida. He was a very confused man. He told me he thought he was going to inspect his store, and he showed up at a residential address. Asked me some questions, asked me if I could open the door. I'm like, I'm not home. So we arranged for him to meet with me today. And when he showed up, I was a little nervous because nobody's ever called or wanted to come inspect the business. But he was nice enough. He just wanted to see some of my documentation. See my state license, which he knew I had because he came from that department, but wanted to make sure I had it readily available. Wanted to see where I kept the product, which is in my home office inside. What else? Wanted to see some invoices to prove that I was purchasing the tobacco from a, licensed distributor. that kind of stuff. It was really simple, especially since it wasn't, I don't have a storefront. Yeah, he didn't know what to make of it. Nobody knows anything about pipes. Those guys are all, I mean, they're looking at the Quickie Marts and the cigarettes vendors and all that. They don't know what to make of a, there's probably like 5 or 10 pipe stores in this whole state, and I'm probably one of 2 or 3 in the state of Florida that are online entities. See you, Douglas. I'm glad you stopped in. But all went well. I got a report that said that I passed inspection. I'm looking at those tins back there. Man, I've got a backlog. I don't have any dock-in posters. I really should change that. Aromatics, I do still smoke my 320. It is still in arm's reach. Right here. Go back and check out my last canned video called The Magnificent Seven, where it is featured predominantly, as it should. No, all these tins aren't opened. The ones on the top are all opened. These are my backlog. Yeah, there's a lot. Those tins of Captain Earls have been opened for months and are still just fine. Crumble cakes. And the humidity here is usually like 80 to 100%. So my open tins last a pretty good while without having to jar anything. Hollywood Briar, what Captain Earls do you have? Not being a super Latakia man myself, I tend to gravitate towards the Honor blend and like Reflections and the Mystic blend. 10 Russians is the heaviest Latakia blend. Oh, let me just throw my fingers up on the screen. That probably is a tin of spark plug you see back there, Gustavo. Yes, yes it is. Jada, thank you. Old Hollywood, that is what happened to me. I figured they only had 8 in the series, in the Captain Earls line, so I wanted to try them all. And when I did, I figured I'd carry them all because it's a really unsung line, I think, in today's tobacco offerings. S.J. Piper asks, I need a good tamper. Any suggestions? Well, depends on what you want. If you just want a tamper, $1 to $2 pipe nail. Mine's filthy because I use the scoop. Every single time I empty a bowl, I'm using this pipe nail. This is a Savinelli tamper. Where is the logo? Have I worn it off? I have worn it off. It used to be silver foiled there. But I use this one a lot. This is my favorite tamper that you can buy readily because it has a larger foot than most tampers. And it is also filthy. I shouldn't show off my filthy junk. $60 in the house. You guys, I can't keep up at this rate with all the comments. I can't remember if I have any spark plug in stock now or not. Y'all just have to check the site, honestly. I could go to my laptop and check, but that's not exactly good TV, so to speak. Aromatics, I do use one filter for every bowl. I replace my filter every time. My filters are, depending on the tobacco, sopping wet by the time I'm done. And I mean, I've heard you can dry them out. I tried it once and wasn't a fan. I like a fresh filter every time, and when you buy them in 40 packs or even 100 packs or more, you know, they're 20 cents each or less. Classical pipes, welcome. Desert Pine Piper. And yes, a long golf tee works great, like the ones Aristocob gives out. Does he still give those out? I still have a couple of those. Check tool does work great. I don't have one over here, but I have one over there. But I would say you don't necessarily need anything super fancy for a tamper. Pipe nail does me just fine, especially if I'm traveling. I'll be packing up my pipe nail tomorrow, too, just in case. What's the strongest tobacco I have in stock? Stephen Rye. Hey there. Yeah, the balsa filters will last, I would say 2, 3, 4 bowls if you let them dry out in between. I just prefer the charcoal filters. Guys in, I have tried the Presbyterian. I smoked it once and immediately jarred it because I did not like it. It did not sit, did not sit well with me. And I don't know why. I did not like it at all. So I figured maybe I'll just age it and come back to it in a couple years. It depends on what you mean by strongest. So the strongest tasting tobacco would be maybe different from the strongest room note or the strongest nicotine hit or the strongest burley flavor or the strongest perique flavor. Probably my strongest perique blend is Shanae's Cake. I used to carry Exclusive, and I thought that was just way too strong of a perique blend. So Shanae's Cake is at the upper end for me right now. Gustavo, I'll try to get back to that question. We'll see. Irish Flake is a strong one, definitely, which I carry. That might be the strongest one I carry. I think the Bold Kentucky is pretty strong too, by McBaron. SJ, those Punta Oro pipes look nice. I don't have one, so I can't. It's a Savinelli. That's typically what I can say is every Savinelli I've smoked has been a great pipe, but I don't have any experience with that line. Old Dark Fired, I wouldn't say is a strong blend. I'd say it's medium, up on the higher medium side, but not, I wouldn't say it's as strong as Irish Flake. So someone asked about dedicating pipes to different kinds of blends. I used to do that early on, like back when I had 5 to 7 good pipes, in my rotation. I don't anymore. And that's not necessarily, I would still if I smoked a lot of different kinds of blends. But what I tend to gravitate to are Periques and Dark Fireds. Burleys. So, since that's most of what I smoke, I don't worry about, when I want to smoke a lot of Kia blend, like grabbing a pipe that I only smoke a lot of Kia in. Because it'll just be one smoke and then I'll be back to the usual regular programming. So I don't worry about that too much. I rarely smoke aromatics anymore. If I'm concerned about a blend and I've never tried it before, I'll smoke it in a cob. Cobs excel at that. I have a few Pearwood pipes from Mr. Brogg in my personal collection, and I like them. I didn't notice them changing the flavor of tobacco at all. Now, I have tried deer tongue and several times, and I think it gives me a headache, so I don't smoke deer tongue anymore. I haven't tried the new HH blend. Is it H&H, Hearth and Home? I haven't tried that. But it sounds nice. Yardism. I didn't see you sneak in. Tiptoeing into my live stream. The Pearwoods do tend to get hot in the hand. Yardism's right. Well, for a naked pipe, I would recommend a Series 3, but I think you're talking about cobs. I would say just, you know, if you want to get a bare cob, best place to start is Missouri Pride. They're super cheap pipes. Aromatics, I agree with you. I don't know. I think you just get used to things. I tried to smoke yesterday without a filter in place, and I don't know, maybe it muted the flavor a little bit, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Without the filter in place, what I was smoking at the time tasted kind of nasty. Not nasty, but just had a funky tang to it. Filters tend to, I feel like it doesn't really affect the flavor except for possibly taming the flavor a little bit. You know, from tars and whatnot. Which I'd rather not be in my smoke. I haven't tried any of the Drucker and Sons blends yet. I'm having a hard enough time keeping up with, again, my backlog. I don't want to miss any comments. Good night, Maui. But I wanted to show you, I've also got, I bought a sampler pack from Watch City. Like their flake pack. Their flakes are, they're not really flakes in my opinion, they're huge. Well, they're not called flakes, they're called slices, which that is accurate. Watch City, from what I heard, is going to stop selling online, or they're going to stop selling their slices, period, I think. I don't want to start a rumor, but that's what I heard, so I decided I wanted to try them. But look how thick that is, y'all. What is that? 3/8 of an inch thick. And it kind of crumbles up. Oh yeah, I mean, it's huge. They're beautiful. This one's falling apart because I've already taken some stuff off of it. But wow. Big presses, and you know, they're pressed and then sliced. Fantastic. This is the Watch City slices. They have one called Ahab's Comfort, which really piqued my interest. Here's what I got left of that. Look at all that dark Latakia, y'all. Boom. It's like a slab of tobacco. But anyway, I've got six ounces, 1 ounce each of 6 different slices from Watch City. Aromatics, I wouldn't slap you if you said that. I think it is probably something like Sutliff. They probably get their tobacco from Sutliff, but a lot of the local stores make their blends from things from Lane and Sutliff and various other bulks. Ahab threw his pipe in the ocean, so he wasn't distracted anymore. Thanks so much, Rockin' Steady. Well, we're at the 45-minute mark, you guys. I figured I'd go until my wife pulled into the driveway. I don't know if you guys do this. Somebody mentioned Pinocchio, yardism. I don't know if you guys do this while you watch TV with your family, but every time I see a pipe in a movie or on a TV show, it doesn't matter if it's an old black and white movie, a newer movie, cartoon, there's pipes all over the place. And I go, pipe! And sometimes if we're watching something on Netflix or whatever, I'll pause it. It's funny how pipes are kind of acceptable in things like movies and television, even still today. Like you don't see anybody on like, a super popular show smoking a pipe all the time, but they pop up all the time, just here and there. When they want somebody to look smart or they want to make a joke about somebody who's a philosopher or whatever. There we go. My 3 sons. Maybe I should start keeping a list. I'll put a list on my iPhone, and just anytime I see it, just mark it down. I bet after a year I'd have at least 50 entries on that list. Uh-oh, no water out here, just the rest of my shake. Ah. Welcome, Piping California. You'll catch the last couple of minutes. I've been at it for a little while. Paul the Piper asks, do you think that the name and the look of a tin or packet automatically gives you false impressions on the taste expectations? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Trying to think of examples of that. Guys in, I appreciate that. I'm definitely not the most knowledgeable person in the YTPC, but I share what I can. Because the YTPC has always helped me. Haunted Bookshop is about right. As far as the 10 art goes. Old Joe Krantz is about right. But there's so many Cornell and Deal blends that just have that plain brown label. Aw, thanks. Hollywood Briar. Hollywood Briar, shoot me a message through my contact page. I'd be interested to ask you if you know a couple of people. If you think about it. tin art matching the taste, that spark plug is probably about right. It is in English, thus the Union Jack, and the mechanic or automotive imagery. It does taste to me kind of like how a mechanic shop smells, kind of greasy. Man, I'm missing more stuff. Yeah, plum pudding was one that threw me. If I remember, I think there's two plum puddings on the market. But one I tried, is it plum pudding? From, oh gosh, what is that company? Germain's. Uh, didn't taste, I mean, I was expecting kind of a sweet flavoring, and it tasted like red wine to me. So the name definitely didn't indicate what it was going to taste like to me. I never tried the bacon old fashioned. I heard too many bad things about it. Yardism, that is a strange invitation to Gustavo. Let's keep this PG, all right? OBX Piper, I know. That's why I have 9 of them in my personal collection. Love those Series 3 pipes. Let's see. Yeah, that Aaron Moore. I don't know what, I can't remember what I was expecting with Aaron Moore, but it was not. I was not expecting that kind of citrus flavoring that it has. Was not a fan of that myself. Typically, when I go for aromatic type blends, I go for the ones that are lighter and the flavoring kind of burns off and you're left with a good base blend. Something like two that really piqued my interest this past year from Cornell and Deal are Redburn and John Marr. I think one is rum flavored and one is like vanilla and bourbon flavored. But those flavorings burn off within 10 minutes or so, I would say. Well, guys, I'll probably wrap up around the hour mark. TPI in the house. Catching the end of the live stream. Sorry for the completely unannounced live stream, y'all. That is how I usually do it. It's usually not planned. I'm like, maybe I'll go live. Wednesday nights, Fragrant Offering Piper usually is my live night, but not every week. And not usually at this time. Well, I'm down to the heel of this bowl. Guys in, I'm about to get off, but thanks for stopping in. TPI, I'm smoking some, what was it? Two-timer, Daughters in Ryan. But at the heel of the bowl, it's pretty much just ash. Well, I think I'm done with this pipe for today. So I'm going to start cleaning my pipes before I hit the road tomorrow. Again, I'll be out of town for 4 days. So anything ordered from now till Sunday night won't ship out until Monday or Tuesday, depending on how many orders I get, maybe even Wednesday. So y'all just keep that in mind. I haven't trained the wife and kids to pack orders for me just yet. All right, we're going to wrap up, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for a good hour here. All right, y'all. We'll see you next time.